see another video of you talking about me and you lying, I'm gonna bring out the facts. I'm gonna bring out the truth. I got all the text messages you sent me. I got all the times you wanted to call me and vent about.
Daz Dillinger spent weeks attacking Snoop Dogg, calling him a snake, accusing him of stealing catalogs, even claiming signatures were forged behind the scenes. Then, Daz made one move that changed everything. He went after Snoop's father, but that wasn't the only line he crossed. Daz also took a shot at Cord Spank Broadus and his music, calling his performance weak, telling him to get out of the gangster lane. And for Cord, that wasn't just another internet diss. It was the final straw, because by that point, Cord had already watched Daz attack his father, attack his grandfather, and according to Cord, lie directly to his face. That's when somebody who had stayed silent through all of it finally stepped in, Snoop Dogg's own son. And unlike everyone else, Cord didn't come with insults. He came with receipts. And if what he's saying is true, this family feud may be a lot bigger than anyone realized.
Yeah, Spank, your performance was whack. Make bullshit, man. Snoop's never had your whack ass on stage. Take that hippie shit out of here. This is the gangster zone.
Cord did not come out swinging. He came out calm, controlled, and that made it hit harder than anything aggressive could have, because he started by acknowledging Daz directly, said he had watched Daz talk about his father for a long time and never said a word, because that was between cousins, family business, not his place to get involved. But then Daz went after Snoop's father, Cord's grandfather, and that, according to Cord, was the line. And here is where it gets interesting, because Cord revealed something that nobody outside that circle knew. He said Daz had recently approached him in person, walked up to him, tried to shake his hand, and told Cord he had already apologized to his grandfather, face to face, man to man. Except, according to Cord, that was a lie. He knew it was a lie in the moment. He called Daz out on it right there. And what Cord said next, he deliberately kept between them. Said if Daz wants to be real with his following, he can tell them what was actually said. But Cord was not going to put it out publicly, not yet. That detail alone stopped people, because it means this situation has layers that have not been made public. Things said and done between these two that Cord is currently choosing to hold back. And the way he framed it, calmly, without emotion, made it clear that he is holding those cards deliberately.
This message is for my big cousin Daz. I've watched you talk to my dad for who knows how long, and I never said anything because y'all are cousins. That's between y'all. The moment I draw the line is when you came at my grandpa a certain way. You and I both know how you came at him, and I'm gonna keep that between us. But you came at him a certain way, and I told you how I felt about it. And when I see you in person, it's so funny. When I saw you in person, you walked up to me trying to give me a handshake, telling me you apologized to my grandpa. And knowing that you were lying, knowing that you full of I said you didn't apologize to him. And what I said after that, if you want to be real with yourself and tell your following what I said, you could tell them, but I ain't gonna say it because you and I both know what was said and what was done. So I'll leave it at that.
Then Corday revealed something that caught a lot of people off guard. Despite everything happening now, he said Daz was actually one of the few people who supported him when he was younger. While others doubted his music, Corday says Daz helped guide him and encouraged him when very few people did. That support was something Corday never forgot, which is exactly why Daz's recent attacks hit differently. This wasn't criticism coming from a stranger. It was coming from someone Corday once respected. And then he said, so for you to get on the internet now and call my music whack, when you were the one rooting for me when everyone else was against me, that hits different. That is not just a diss. That is somebody feeling genuinely betrayed by a person they respected. But then Corday shifted and the tone changed. He said he sees a pattern now. Said everything that is working, everything moving in the right direction, Daz finds a reason to be against it. And Corday connected that directly to where he is in his career right now. Said he is blowing up, said things are aligning for him, and he understands why that might be a problem for someone who is struggling.
I have always spoke highly about you, even till this day. Because I remember vividly when I was on tour at 19, 18 years old, everybody on tour was talking about my music. Everybody said spank, wag, this, and that. And there was only two people that was trying to help me shape my sound and help me sound better. And that was you and I was super fly. So for you to get on this internet and tell me and say my is whack, well, it's just crazy. Like, you was the one nigga rooting for me when other niggas were saying my shit. Now everybody rooting for me, and you the only nigga saying my whack. So at this point, I already knew it, but there's something wrong with you, cuzzo. Everything is aligning. I'm blowing up right now. Out for me right now. So I get why you talk to me. You mad at anything that's working out. Anything that's doing good, you gonna hate on it. That's what you're known for right now. You're not known for all the legendary did.
Then came the part that changed the tone completely. Cord said he has every text message, every phone call, every private conversation where Daz allegedly said things very different from what he now says publicly. And according to Cord, none of it has ever been exposed, not because it doesn't exist, but because he chose not to use it. Then came the warning. If Daz keeps pushing false narratives, that choice could change.
But if I see another video of you talking about me and you lying, I'm gonna bring out the facts. I'm gonna bring out the truth. I got all the text messages you sent me. I got all the times you wanted to call me and vent about what you were going through with my dad or what happened between. I got all that, and I've never said nothing because I'm not that type of person. I can always be that type of person, like how I was when you saw me at my cousin Joe Cool funeral. You know what happened. So I can't wait to hear your side of the story of what happened and to see if you're going to actually keep it real, because I'm just not here for this. I'm here to.
And then Cord closed with something that made people stop scrolling. Said if Daz wants to throw hands, they can do that. If he wants to call, he can do that too. But the number is blocked. Instagram is blocked. And Cord said, "You know I am not like the others. You know that. So be careful how you move when it comes to me." That was not a threat. That was a boundary. And the calmness behind it made it land louder than any aggressive response could have. Now let's put this entire situation in context, because what Cord just did, stepping into a beef between two OGs who helped build one of the most important eras in hip-hop history, that is not a small move.
You for everything you've done for me, everything you've shown me. Another thing you did for me that I always appreciate, you told me about BMI and ASCAP. You're the reason why I got a TuneCore account. Like, you've done so much for me. And for me to finally get somewhere that I thought you was trying to help me get to, for you to talk, it's like, cuzzo, it's something wrong with you. And if it's something wrong with you, get it out your system. And if you need to throw hands or something with me, we could do that. Or if you want to just call me, we could do that. You got my number blocked. You got me blocked on Instagram. Like, cuzzo, you know I'm not the one, cuzzo. You know I'm different than all them. You know that. So just be careful how you moving right now when it comes to me. I'm not them. I'm completely different. You know that, I know that. So let's keep it peaceful, okay? I'm not the one.
Daz Dillinger is not a random internet personality. He is a legendary producer, a founding member of the Dog Pound, a man whose fingerprints are all over the Death Row catalog, tracks with Tupac, classic West Coast records, music that defined an entire generation. And the accusations Daz has been making are not small either. According to Daz, Snoop allegedly used forged signatures to gain control over catalog and publishing rights after acquiring Death Row Records in 2022. Alleged that Snoop tried to trademark music he created without his knowledge or approval. Alleged that the goal was to position the catalog for $1 billion sale, with Daz seeing none of that money. And Snoop's response was not a denial of the business accusations. His response was a threat. Said he would destroy Daz business-wise. Said Daz was broke. Said leave him alone.
I see you ain't got shit to do but hate on me, huh? In a minute, I'ma f you up, cuz, on some real shit. Not physically, but business-wise. Cuz you broke as a right now, so I'ma f you up in a minute, cuz. Leave me alone. Leave me the f alone.
You didn't put that on the internet.
Leave me alone, cuz.
Right.
You up.
Free face.
Leave me alone.
That response told its own story, because when somebody makes specific accusations about contracts and publishing and forged signatures, and the response is, "You're broke, leave me alone," people notice what was not said. And now Snoop's own son has entered the conversation, not to defend the business accusations, not to address the death row paperwork, but to draw a line around family, around his grandfather, around what he personally witnessed Daz do and say when nobody was filming. This beef is no longer just about two cousins arguing over a catalog. It is now a family situation that has crossed into the next generation, and Cord made it clear. He has receipts, he has text messages, he has conversations, and he has chosen, so far, not to use them. The question now isn't whether Daz and Snoop are still at war. Everyone already knows they are. The real question is whether Cord decides to take this any further, because according to him, there are still conversations the public hasn't heard, still details he hasn't shared. And if this situation continues escalating, those receipts could become the next chapter of a feud that has already divided a family. Daz went after Snoop. Then he went after Snoop's father, and now Snoop's son has stepped into the middle of it. The only question left is, who's going to speak next? Drop your thoughts in the comments.